Hi guys and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning about osmosis and active transport. This is going to be a quick crash course for you to get good marks in this topic in your boards. Let's look at the definition for osmosis. This might go up to 3 marks for just writing a few sentences in your board paper. Osmosis is the movement of water molecules from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So this will go up to 3 marks. Here are 3 points which you must remember while writing about osmosis. It occurs in plant cells and animal cells. A membrane is a must for osmosis. They might try to trick you on this one. And plants absorb water from the soil by osmosis. This is an example. So how do plants absorb water from the soil? There are more water molecules in the soil than inside the plants. We can say that the concentration of water molecules are greater in the soil than in the plant. So the water particles move from inside the soil to inside of the plant. If you're looking at this diagram over here, we can see that there are less solvent particles over here and more solvent particles over here. So we can say that the solvent particles from a region of higher concentration move to that of a lower concentration. So if you're speaking in terms of water, then use the term water potential. For example, if there is a higher amount of water particles in a solution than, let's say, salt, then you would say that solution has a higher water potential. But if the solution has less water molecules than the solute particles, then you say that solution has a lower water potential. However, even though IGCSE exams do not use this, it's very important to understand the terms isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic because it will help us in the future example, which are often asked in the boards. So what does isotonic mean? Isotonic means that there is an equal number of solute and water particles. Hypotonic is when there is more solute particles than water particles. Hypotonic is when there are more water particles than solute particles. So let's look at this example involving RBCs, which are often asked in the boards. In a hypotonic solution, one which has more salt than the water particles and RBCs are left in there, the RBCs will shrink. Be sure to use the word shrink. Why is this? Because there are more salt particles outside the RBC than inside the RBC. There are less water particles outside the RBC than inside. So the water particles, since there are more in the RBC, will move from the inside of the RBCs to the outside. The RBCs will lose water, thus they shrink. As you can see over here, H2O molecules move out. Isotonic solutions. Isotonic solution is when both salt particles and H2O particles are equal. So nothing happens to the RBCs. In a hypotonic solution, there's more water molecules on the outside than salt molecules. So the water molecules, since they're more on the outside, they'll move into the RBCs. And since they move into the RBCs can no longer control the amount of water which is coming in. Hence, they will burst. Let's look at active transport. This also might go up to 3 marks. Active transport is the movement of particles through a cell membrane from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration using energy from respiration. So plants absorb mineral ions from the soil by active transport. There are more mineral ions in the plant than outside the plant. So in order to absorb the mineral ions, they have to use the energy from respiration to go against the diffusion and go upwards. As you can see in this diagram, the particles are going upwards from a region of low concentration to high concentration. Root hair cells are a good example of active transport. As you can see over here, the mineral ions are going upwards rather than downwards. Let's look at a few questions from the IGCSE past papers. The diagram shows water and sugar molecules on either sides of a partially permeable membrane. Okay? A partially permeable membrane is a membrane that only allows certain particles to go in and out. You should know this by now. What happens during osmosis? As you can see, there are sugar molecules which are larger than water molecules. Partially permeable membranes only allow smaller, and as you can see over here, water molecules are smaller. Correct? Okay. So water molecules are more over here. So water molecules will pass through the membrane from Y to X. Okay, so that rules out this option and this option. Okay, more sugar molecules pass through the membrane from Y to X. That would be incorrect. The correct answer would be more water molecules pass through the membrane from Y to X than from X to Y. Correct answer is D. Which diagram shows the changes in appearance of a plant cell when it remains in a concentrated sugar solution for 30 minutes? What is a concentrated solution, guys? Pause the video. Okay, a concentrated solution is when there are more solute particles than the solvent. Sugar solution contains sugar molecules and water molecules. So you can see that the cell is put in sugar solution and there's more sugar outside than inside, less water outside than inside. So water will move from a region of high concentration to low concentration. So from inside the cell to the outside. And it's kept for 30 minutes, so let's be careful. It cannot be this because it's shrinking here. So it can't be A. It's already shrinked here, can't be B. And your option would be C. It can't be D because it doesn't directly go here and come back up. Now, the diagram represents the molecules in two solutions, either side of a fully permeable membrane. So here is a fully permeable membrane. A fully permeable membrane is a membrane which allows all particles to pass in and pass out. An example of a fully permeable membrane would be your cell wall, which is only present in plant cells and bacterial cells. We will look into bacteria in the next video. So the larger ones are the solute particles. So these are solute and these are water. Okay. In which directions are the net movements of the molecules? So this is a tricky question. There are more water molecules over here. So it will move from high concentration to low concentration. So it will move from left to right. So water molecules will move from left to right. So it can't be right to left, can't be right to left. Okay, cool. So there are more solute particles on the right than the left. So this will move from right to left. So your correct option would be C. During osmosis, which molecules move and through which type of membrane? Okay. Osmosis mainly refers to water. Okay, so it cannot be oxygen. Oxygen would be diffusion. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video on diffusion. And water would be, it'll let us down to C and D. And which type of membrane? The correct option would be partially permeable membrane, and your correct option will be C. Let me down in the comments below what you would like me to do next, and if you would like me to post worksheets to get you prepared for your boards. Thank you for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more videos. Bye.